जय श्री कृष्णा, जय श्री राधा, जय श्री विष्णु. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are listening to the meanings, not just meanings, meanings with feelings, with emotions, with sentiments. We are listening to the meanings of Vishnu Sahasranama, and we have till now finished one part only where I discussed about the different meanings of Dhyan mantras. There are different publications and some of the books will have a little variation with the Dhyan mantras. But whatever your book is, whatever the Dhyan mantras are, they are all good. I am reading from the book which I bought from Giri bookstore. So sometimes the older editions had some little different variations, but mostly the mantras are the same. So in the previous video I finished the Dhyan mantras, the beginning Dhyan mantras, and we ended up at the place where Vaishampayan, who is the disciple of Vyasadeva, is talking to Janmejaya in Mahabharata. And he said that Yuddhishthir, who has learnt about all the dharmas, he is Dharmaputra Yuddhishthir, means he is the son of Dharma. He is Dharma incarnation. That Yuddhishthir goes to Bhishma Pitamaha and he has posed some questions to Bhishma. So we are going to hear from what Yudhishthir asked and what Bhishma said. Yudhishthir uvacha kimekam daivatam loke kim vapekam parayanam stuvantah kam archantah prapnuyurmanava shubham को धर्म सर्वधर्माणां भवतः परमो मतः किं जपन्मुच्यते जन्तुर्जन्म संसार बन्धनात्. Yudhishthir asked, O grandsire, O grandfather Bhishma, please tell me, I have heard about so much dharma, so many gods, so many importance. When you open up our Puranas and the Vedas, they are filled with Mahatmyas. Mahatmya means glories. Glories of various tithis, glories of various gods, glories of various holy places of pilgrimages, different type of austerities, different type of thousands of names, stutis, praises, so many variety of gods. But if someone has to choose, because we have arrived in Yudhishthir has posed this question just for us. Because in Kali Yuga, we don't have the time to do all those things that is mentioned in the Puranas, and that may be faulty also. So what do we do? So I think, when Yudhishthir asked, it was for us. So he is asking very nice question. He says, Kimekam daivatam loke? O Pitamaha, please tell me only one God, the name of one God, whom we should worship. Kim ekam daivatam loke, kim vapi ekam parayanam. Tell me one parayan, what we should do. Who is the final destination, final goal of everyone? Whom should men pray? Stuvantam kam archantah. Whom should we praise and whose archana we should do? Just by doing that, all the human beings will get all auspicious results. So please tell me, in this world, who is that Devata? Devata means somebody by whose order the world is running. That Devata who can grant things. That is Devata, who can grant everything, whatever a human being desires. So please tell me the name of that Devata now. There are hundreds of Devatas. Like for example, some people worship sun god. So sun is a Devata. Some people also worship wind god. Wind is a Devata. Some people is worshipping the moon. Moon is a Devata. All of them are Devatas. But who is the one who is controlling all these little devatas? Tell me the name of that devata, that God, who is the controller of everybody and under whose direction everybody is doing their work perfectly and who can fulfill the desire of human beings. So please tell me that name. I don't want to keep praying here and there everybody. So just tell me the name of that person. And then, Kimekam Parayanam. Parayanam means the final abode, final destination, the supreme goal, Param Ayan, the supreme resting place. Who is that? Who is that Devata and who is that supreme resting place? Where is that supreme resting place where we should be aiming to go? Who is that Devata whom we should really praise? So first question, who is that Devata? The ultimate supreme Devata. Whom should we praise? Who is the final destination that we should praise? Who is Kim Stuvantah? What are the praises that we say? Kam Archantah. Whom should we do? Archana. Archana means we offer things, when we are praying the name, we take 1,000 names, we offer flowers, sometimes we offer tulsi leaves. So whom we should offer this? Kam Archantah. So 4 questions and then he asks the 5th question. Ko dharma sarva dharmanam. Which dharma out of all these millions of dharmas spoken in the Puranas and everywhere I've heard from all the rishis and sadhus and everybody, tell me which out of all the dharma, which is the supreme dharma considered by you? And Kim japan muchyate? By what japa one must do? What mantra one must chant? That chanting that mantra, not only the human beings. In the first one he asked, human being will get all auspiciousness. Now he is going further. He says, not only human beings, every living creature. It could be a small insect crawling on the floor. It could be the birds. It could be the trees. All are living beings everywhere, all around us. What mantra should we chant? By chanting of that mantra, all the creatures, all the living beings will be freed from birth and death. How beautiful is this question? It shows the saintly quality of Yuddhishthir. He thinks of everyone, not just of himself. He's not posing that question for himself. He's asking that question for us, for every living being, for every creature. How compassionate this Yudhishthir's character comes out from these questions. Kimekam Devatam Loke. So 6 questions he has posed. Who is that greatest Devata? Whose Parayan we should do? And whom should we praise? Whose worship we must do? Which dharma is the greatest dharma, supreme dharma? And which mantra is that greatest mantra by chanting which everybody will be freed? All creatures, not just the living beings. Bhishma heard the question. He smiled. He is very happy. And then Bhishma Uvacha. Bhishma starts saying, Bhishma Uvacha Jagat Prabhum Deva Devam Anantam Purushottamam Stuvan Nama Sahasrena Purusha Satot Otthitaha. Bhishma replied, Jagat Prabhum, you must, whenever you rise, whenever you are awakened, anybody who is awakened, anybody who is wise should pray to that one Lord who is Jagat Prabhu, who is the master of the universe, Jagannath. Another name for Jagat Prabhu is Jagannath, who is the master of the universe, Lord of the universe. And Deva Devam Anantam. He is there are infinite gods, he has understood. But he is the God of all gods. And he himself is infinite. Deva Devam Anantam. Purushottamam. He is the supreme Purusha and supreme personality of Godhead. Uttamam, the best of all. Purush means, somebody in Gita Bhagavan says, Purush means the one who lives in this body of 9 holes. We have 9 openings in the body, our eyes, our ears, the aperture, the mouth. and the genitals. So all these areas are the 9 openings in the body, and the one who is the ruler of this body, that supreme God, he is the super soul. He is the best of all. So Bhishma says, we must, if you want to offer worship, you offer worship to that Purushottamam. Purushottam means that divine super soul residing in every living being's heart. Stuvan Nama Sahasrena. And how you should do it? You should praise him by his 1,000 names. That is called the Vishnu Sahasranama, which we are going to understand. Whenever the man, a really awakened man who has come to knowledge, will be doing this. What do you mean by awakened man? Because when we look at our Puranas, all the prayers or whatever has been given is given to achieve some goals. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But here he says, the one who is awakened means the one who has now known that whatever you ask, everything is going to go one day. So now since you are asking me the final dharma is to get God himself. And that one God, where does he live? Though he is infinite, though he is spread everywhere, yet he lives in the heart of every living being. So if a living being wants that good things should happen to him, he should worship that living being, that Bhagwan who lives in the heart. How do you do that? By the 1,000 names. Tameva charchayan nityam bhaktya purusham avyayam dhyayen stuvan namasyanscha yajmanas tameva cha. Him alone should be worshipped. You have to worship that Bhagwan with all your devotion. He is the Purush who is avyayam. He looks, as I told, he is in everybody's heart. So it may look he is in everybody's heart, but he is avyaya, he is indivisible, he is everywhere. Not only is he in our heart, he is outside too. He is avyaya, inexhaustible. The world may come, the world may go. The universes may come, the universes may go. But him, he will always stay. We must only pray to him. Dhyayana stuvana. We must pray to him, meditate upon him. Namasyancha. We should always do our namaskaras only to him. Yajmanastameva. He is the Yajman. He is the host of everything. Whatever we do, we should just offer all the sacrifices unto him. And this way, the worshipper is freed. So if you want to be freed from all your problems, then he is the one who is to be worshipped. Anadinidinam Vishnum Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvan Nityam Sarva Dukkhati Ko Bhave. Now I like this sloka very much. Here, 2 names have been taken very distinctly. Even though this book is what we are reading, we are saying about Vishnu Sahasranama. But here, Bhishma Pitamaha takes 2 names. I'm going to read those names. And you must figure it out. I'm going to read that slowly. The 2 names are, figure it out yourself first. Anadinidhanam Vishnum. So this name is okay, right? You understand now. The next one is Sarvaloka Mahesh Varam. Did you figure out the 2 names? Yes. Vishnu and Mahesh. Who is Mahesh? Shiva. Bhishma Pitamaha takes the name of both these great ones, Vishnu and Shiva. The reason is to make it very clear to all Vishnu worshippers that one should not distinguish between Hari and Har. Many a times, especially there is, in the times where we are living, there has been a big preaching on a very large scale about Krishna. But when they are preaching about Krishna, people end up blaspheming Lord Shiva or putting him down or his family down, saying that Vishnu's name should not be considered equal to Shiva, which is such a big mistake. Here in this sloka, and not only in this sloka, you will hear in many other names in Vishnu Sahasranama that Vishnu's name has been taken as Shiva's name. So it starts with saying Anadi Nidhanam Vishnum. That Vishnu means the one who is spread everywhere. He is Anadi, means you cannot find out when he was born. He is always there, Anadi. Nidhanam, he doesn't die. He is not affected by, he never takes birth. Anadi Nidhanam, he never takes birth. He doesn't die. He doesn't decay. He never becomes old. So that is Anadi Nidhanam. He doesn't transform. He is always there. He is beyond the 6 transformations. So that Bhagwan who is pervading everywhere. Anadi Nidhanam Vishnu. Vishnu means the one who is pervading everywhere. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme controller of all the lokas, of all the universes. He is called Maheshwar. He is the supreme controller and he is called Maheshwar. Maheshwar means Shiva also. So Vishnu's one name is Maheshwar. So if somebody is a real devotee of Vishnu, he will never ever disrespect Lord Shiva. We never see a difference between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. I have spoken about on this many a times, but our focus is on Vishnu Sahasranama, so I'll keep it to Vishnu Sahasranama only. But I had to point this thing very beautiful, because one of my most beautiful things here when I see Vishnu Sahasranama, there are many other places also, that Bhishma Pitama says Vishnu and Maheshwar together in one line. When we see them, Vishnu comes as Ram and worships Rameshwar, who is Rameshwaram is a Shivling. That is in the south of India. When we go to the north, we go to Kedarnath. In Kedarnath, Lord Shiva is worshipped with Brahma Kamal, and those Brahma Kamal is the eyes of Vishnu. Once Shiva was praying to Vishnu, and then Vishnu was praying to Shiva in Kedarnath with 1,000 lotuses, and Shiva just took away one of the lotus from there just for fun. And Vishnu was so lost in the prayer, he forgot that he didn't notice that Shiva has taken the lotus. So he's praying. So he did 999 mantras of Shiva. And then when the 1,000 mantra come, he's like, where is the lotus? Shiva has already stolen it. Vishnu thinks, okay, now I can't get up. Now I can go and pick up the lotus. So my eyes are like lotus, and let me pluck my eyes and put it on the Shivlinga. So when he's about to pluck his eyes, Shiva just comes there. What are you doing? How much do you love me? You're going to offer your eyes? No, just stop. Shiva gets so overwhelmed by the love shown by Vishnu. He just goes and hugs him. And both of them, when they hug, they get goosebumps. And then Shiva says, you love me so much. I want to give you something which I love. I'll give you this chakra. That Sudarshan chakra will always be there with you. And that is my form. So Vishnu loves him so much and Shiva loves him so much that Vishnu, when he holds the chakra, whenever we see the Sudarshan chakra, that Sudarshan chakra is Shiva himself. So we never see we do not differentiate between Shiva and they have both Vishnu's form and both are doing their duty and their play. We give respect equally to both of them. So Anadi Nidhanam Vishnum Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvan Nityam Sarva Dukkhatigo Bhavet. He says, you must pray to that Vishnu who is transcendental, who is always there, who never dies, and he is the supreme controller, and he is the Lokadhyaksha, he is the presiding deity of the world, and he is the great Lord of everyone. Him you must stuvan nityam, you must praise nityam every day, and by doing this, all your sorrows will be gone. Brahmanyam sarvadharmagyam lokanam kirtivardhanam lokanatham mahadbhutam sarvabhuta bhavodbhavam. He says, he is Brahmanyam, he is Brahma. From him, all the Brahmanas, all the tapa, all the shruti, everything, he is has come, and he is the well-wisher of Brahman, austerities, and the Vedas, and therefore he is Brahmanya. He is, from him this whole world has come. He is Brahmanya. The Brahma Tattva has come from him. He is Brahmanya. And Sarva Dharmagyam, he knows all the dharma, and Lokanam Kirtivardhanam. He is the one who brings yasha or kirti or fame to people. He manifests inside their heart and makes them glorious, all the living beings. So those who are devotees of Bhagwan, if we are chanting Bhagwan's name, in this very thing, you will see that dharma, you will get it. You are doing it, practicing dharma just by chanting the 1,000 names. And he says, Lokanam Kirtivardhanam, he makes his devotees famous. Dharma, Artha, Kama, he gives you. He makes you famous. Look at Prahlad. Prahlad is famous. Look at Dhruv. Dhruv is famous. All the devotees of Bhagwan, they may be very simple devotees, but yet those who are sincerely chanting Bhagwan's name, Bhagwan makes them glorious. Lokanam Kirtivardhanam. Lokanatham, he is the Nath of everybody. He is the master of everybody. Mahadbhutam, from him came this Mahat Tattva and all. The whole world came out from him. Mahadbhutam, Sarvabhuta Bhavodbhavam. When the universe is created, the first Tattva that comes out is Mahat Tattva. It comes out from him. That Mahat Tattva becomes into Ahankar, and then Ahankar becomes into Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And that becomes into the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And from there comes the sensory organs, the vision, the sound, the taste, the touch. And from there develops all the devatas and all the living beings and the non-living things. So the whole creation is caused by this one Bhagwan, whom we should be worshipping and we should be praying. Esha me sarva dharmanam dharmo adiktamo matah yad bhaktya pundarikaksham stavair archane narah sada. He says, O Yudhishthir, I am telling you now, in my opinion, since you asked me what is the biggest dharma in your opinion, in my opinion, the biggest dharma one can practice is remembering, praising and worshipping one Lord who is called as Pundrikaksha. What do you mean by Pundrikaksha? One who is lotus-eyed. One meaning. And the other meaning is the one who lives in the akash of your heart, in the cave of your heart, in the cave of heart and mind, this whole area. So the one who lives in the cave of the heart, who is that cave of the heart? Who lives in the cave of the heart? That is Paramatma, the super soul. That is Bhagwan. So if you are asking me, O Yudhishthir, what is the biggest dharma one should practice? One should remember and focus and meditate on that super soul inside the heart, who is Bhagwan, who has been described by all these names, Lord of the Lord, and the other names which we discussed. So one must meditate on him always. This is considered by me to be the highest of all the dharmas. He is Pundrikaksha, his eyes is like that of lotus. Just by looking at his eyes, all your problems will come to end. And he's always there in the heart. So once he is there in the heart, nothing else to worry. How does he appear? Oh, Paramam yo mahatteja, Paramam yo mahattapaha, Paramam yo mahat brahma, Paramam yo parayanam. He is the supreme great light. So when you are meditating inside the heart, he appears like a great light. Some people call it Brahma Jyoti. Paramam yo mahattapaha. He is the supreme great ruler. Tapaha means somebody who rules. So he is the supreme ruler. Paramam yo mahat brahma. He is the Mahat Tattva. He is the Brahma Tattva situated everywhere. So Brahma Tattva, when we say Brahma Tattva, he is like the Kham Brahma, Vayu Brahma. We decide Brahma Tattva like this. So like the ether, Akash, is spread everywhere. The space is spread everywhere. Can you see the space? No, you cannot see the space. I am sitting in space. We are all sitting in space. The earth is floating in space. In between everything there is space. There is ether. So he is situated in the ether. He is in the fire. Look at two stones. When you just rub the two stones, you see fire element. So fire is invisible like that in the stone, but when you do the friction, it is visible. So he is hidden in the stones. He is hidden in the woods. He is hidden in us like fire. So he is Brahma. He is in the great form of sound. He is Brahma. Even if all the world, all the universes will dissolve, but he will still remain invisible sometimes, and sometimes visible. When he incarnates, he is visible. When he is not incarnating, he is invisible. He is in the living beings, he is in the non-living beings. And he is known as that great Tattva, Aksharam Parabrahma. He is that Brahma Tattva who is inexhaustible. So, Paramam yo Mahat Brahma, he is the supreme great Brahma. He is the absolute. And Paramam yah Parayanam. He is the supreme destination of everyone. You ask me what is a Parayanam? Well, the Parayanam is he himself. He is the greatest final abode where everybody has to reach. And how is he? Why should we have him as the final abode? Well, because Pavitranam Pavitram yo Mangalanam cha Mangalam Daivatam Devatanam cha Bhutanam yo Avyapita. You asked me what one should do by which every living being will only get auspicious result. So I am saying, if you want your Mangal, if you want auspiciousness, then he is the only one whom you have to think about. That's all. He is the one who makes everybody pure. He purifies even those who have become pure. Now what is that? Pavitranam cha pavitram. What do you mean by that? It means that, many times we do many tapas. We go to pilgrimages, we go and take bath in the Ganga, thinking that all our sins will go away. Sometimes people go to astrologers and they'll say, oh, you have Pitradosh they'll say the planets are not in your favor, your forefathers are angry, so many things they will say. But even after saying all that, and whatever the things they are telling us to practice, even after doing that, many times we see that whatever they have told, it doesn't purify us. Our life does not become smooth. You go to the astrologers, they'll suggest so many things to do. You have done everything. But yet, even after doing that, why is your life not becoming smooth? Why are you still suffering? Why the problems are just like that? Because even after doing all those methods, like japa, whatever the havan, yagya, reading, whatever pilgrimages, whatever people suggested you, you did. But even after doing that, you are not becoming purified because the seeds of sinful tendencies are still there inside your consciousness. So you do all those things, whatever is recommended in the scriptures, but as long as the seeds of sinful tendencies are inside your consciousness, even after doing so much tapasya, when you come back and you find the same old company, you end up doing sins. And you end up doing sins, and because of those sins, again the cycle of suffering starts. So even after doing all these things, you are not getting purified. That is why Bhishma Pitama says, take these 1,000 names and do it sincerely. The power of these 1,000 names is such that it will purify even those who have purified themselves, thinking that they have purified themselves. They went to the Ganges, they took holy bath, they came out. But if they continue chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, their consciousness will be saved. They go to the Ganges, come out, and then think, oh, I become pure now. Nothing. Again they'll do sins, and again they'll fall into the cycle of repeated birth and death and suffering. So pavitranam pavitram yo mangalanam cha mangal. If somebody wants something really auspicious, then he should only do one thing. He should chant these 1,000 names. This first, what Bhishma Pitama is saying, it gives the importance of the names also, and it also gives us the phal, the benefits of chanting. But even though there is a big chapter, on Falashruti, what are the benefits of chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, but here in the beginning slokas itself, Bhishma Pitama has said, Pavitranam Pavitram, you'll become very purified, that all your sinful tendencies will be washed away, and then you will be liberated. And because you asked, because the Yuddhisthirs question was, what is that thing by which every creature will be liberated? So I am telling you, just take these 1,000 names, you will be liberated. And what? Mangalanam cha mangalam. You ask me, what is the most auspicious thing? Take these 1,000 names. Daivatam devatanam. You ask me, who is that biggest devata of all the devatas? This Vishnu, this Maheshwar, he is the biggest devata. I am telling you. Bhutanam yavyai pitaha. He is the father of every being. Since you ask me, Jantu Janma Sansar Bandhanat, you ask me, even the smallest creature, well, let me tell you, oh Yudhishthir, even the smallest creature, the father, he is the only one seed giving father. He is Avyay. He is the father of a bacteria, he is the father of an insect, he is the father of a turtle, he is the father of a fish, he is the father of a bird, he is the father of a lion, he is the father of horse. Whatever you see living being in this world, seen or unseen, everybody, he is the father. Gita also he says, I am the seed giving father. So, oh Yudhishthir, you must chant only his name, which will make his name is the most holiest name, and it makes the holy people also very holy. I will read some shlokas from Vishnu Puranas and other Puranas, because the importance of the name has been given everywhere. Whether we understand or not doesn't really matter. But these names, just by chanting, just by thinking, just by repeating, these names have their own effect. Just like if something is taken near the fire is going to burn. You throw trash in the fire, you throw food in the fire, you throw gold in the fire, whatever you throw in the fire is going to burn. Similarly, when you go to God, all your sinful tendencies are going to burn. So, our Puranas glorify the names of Bhagwan very much. How is this Bhagwan? In Garuda Purana it says, Dhyayen Narayanam Devam Snanadishu cha karmashu Prayaschitam hi sarvasya Dushkratyasyeti Vaishutihi. You go to the holy Ganges or Yamuna or wherever you want to take the bath, you have taken the bath, but if you did not remember Bhagwan, then that bath is useless. But if you take a dip and you remember Bhagwan, then by doing that, all the sinful tendencies of your karmas will be washed away. This is accepted by all our Shrutis. Sansara sarpasandashta nashta chaishtek bheshajam krishneti vaishnavam mantram shrutva mukto bhaven naraha. The Vishnu Puran says, just one mantra, Krishna mantra. It is so powerful. In the world while we are living, we are constantly bitten by the snakes. Constantly bitten by the snakes of lust, attachment, anger, greed, envy, pride, ego. And the biggest snake is the time. It's going to devour all of us. So what is the antidote? How to protect ourselves? He says, the Vishnu Puran says, just take one name, Krishna name, Krishna name, Krishna name. Even if somebody is a big sinner, ati patak yukto api dhyayan nimisha achyutam bhuyas tapasvi bhavati pankti pavana pavanaha. Even if somebody is a very sinner, big sinner, but if he has chanted Bhagwan's name, and then decides, I will not go back to the sinful ways, I will chant Bhagwan's name. Just by chanting that name, he will get into the line of all the pious people. He's become pious. Alodya sarva shastrani vicharya cha puna puna idam ekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayana sada. The Linga Puran says, always remember the name of Sri Narayana and also Sri Krishna. Again and again, the Linga Puran states, again and again, all the Shastras were churned, and there was only one name that came out that everybody should remember, and that is the name of Narayan. Same Linga Puran has praised Lord Krishna's name. There's only one name that one must chant, that is Krishna's name. Harireka sadadeyo bhavadbhi sattva sansitai omittevam sada vipra patat dhyat keshavam. Those who are learned, they know that the biggest mantra is the name of Keshav, starting with Om Keshvaya Namaha. What happens by chanting the Bhagwan's name? In Mundaka Upanishad and even in Srimad Bhagavat it says, Vidyante hridayaskranti chidyante sarvasanchaya chiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishtve paravare. He says, one who remembers Bhagwan's name, all their knots in the heart are broken and their doubts go away and all the reactions of their karmas go away and they can see Bhagwan right in their heart. It goes on saying, there are many beautiful shlokas in Vishnu Puran. He says, even if somebody chants Bhagwan's name out of fear, even then all his sins will go away. And then the most important thing it says, Dhyayan krite yagyan yagyai stretaya dvapare archayan yadapnoti tadapnoti kalo sankirta keshvam. In Satyuga, people did dhyana. In Treta, they did yagya, sacrifices. In Dwapar, they worship Bhagwan. But all these things that they did in the other three yugas, in Kali Yuga, there is one great benefit. All you have to do is chant Lord Keshav's name and you will get every benefit of dhyana, meditation, worship and sacrifices. Just by chanting the name of Keshav. Even if somebody is big sinful, if they remember Bhagwan's name, then Bhagwan will take away all their sinful sins. Just like the fire, it burns away everything. It goes on saying, so many different things have been given. Just like you take salt and you dissolve it in water, the salt loses itself. Similarly, if Bhagwan's name somebody is chanting, Bhagwan is like the water and your sins are like the salt, they get dissolved. They will not remain anywhere. In Kali Yuga, there is nothing bigger than Hare Namaiva Namaiva Mama Jivanam Kalau Nasteva Nasteva Gatir Anyatha. In this Kali, the only solution is take Harinam, take Harinam, take Harinam, Hari, Hari, Hari. Other than Hari, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. The one who remembers Vishnu in his heart, it says, all auspicious things will come to him. Sarvada sarvakayeshu nasti tesham mangalam. At all times, he will get good things in his life. All inauspiciousness will go away. Yesham hridiyasto bhagwan Mangalayatanno Hari, in whose hearts Bhagwan Hari is residing, the great auspicious Hari is residing. Those people's life, there will never be any inauspiciousness. All good things will happen to them. That's why under all circumstances one must remember the name of Hari, Hari, Hari. And that's what Bhishma Pitama said here. Pavitranam pavitram yo mangalanam cha mangal. The one who can purify even the pure people, the one who is the most auspicious out of all auspiciousness, who is the Lord of all lords, and who is the Father of every being, one must always worship and praise him. So we end it up here, and there are a few more shlokas which we will continue in the next videos. Till then, let my gurus and let Bhagwan Vishnu bless us so that we chant these names with faith and we experience that love for Godhead through this Vishnu Sahasranama. See you in next video. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe.